All right. So, good morning, everybody. We are going to be playing with some hip work today, leg strength, hip work. And one of the things we're going to use a bit is a strap if you've got it. If you don't have a yoga strap, you can use a belt. You can use one of those elastic exercise bands would work. You can use a strap from a robe. I mean, really anything, but just because you won't adjust that loop too much. And then just set it aside for now so that we can get centered. But we're going to use it pretty quickly. And then sit in a way that makes sense for you, whether your legs are cross-legged or your legs are straight. Any of that is okay for me. Just make sure you're not hurting your knees or your hips by the way you're sitting. And you can sit up on a blanket, right? Or a pillow or something. And then take your shoulders up to your ears and squeeze them back and let them come down. Good. Do that 2 more times. Squeeze them up. Squeeze them back and down. And one more squeeze up. And squeeze them back and down. And then let your hands rest on your legs. Your shoulders are soft. And they're nice and wide open. So we're not rounding forward. Got the shoulders open. And then imagine the back of your head is resting on the back of a wall, right? So that you just draw the head back a little bit. The chin glides back just a little bit, and you feel how that opens up this whole upper body when you do that. And then close the eyes if you're comfortable, or a soft gaze if you like to keep the eyes open. And start to breathe in through your nose, and then out either through your nose or your mouth. Starting to come to the center of your yoga mat. And we just start to calm our bodies and calm our minds so that we let all the other stuff go away for now. Keeping the head just ever so gently back. Keeping the chest lifted. Find your breath. And maybe let the exhale be a little bit longer than the inhale. So as you breathe in, the exhale lasts a little bit longer. Good, couple more right there. Last one. Good, and then let the eyes open, the hands come to your sides. Inhale, take the arms up. Exhale your hands right to your heart. Interlace your hands, press them out, lift them up. Be mindful of your shoulders. As you exhale, bring your hands to your belly, curl back, and then inhale, reach up. Exhale, curl it in. Good, 3 more. Inhale, reach. Exhale. Good, last one, take it up. Exhale, curl it in. And then reach the arms up, separate the hands, and imagine you're reaching up way overhead for something like a rope or something, and then switch sides, just starting to stretch side body a little bit, as if you're reaching up, grabbing a rope and pulling it back down. That's it, couple more, stretching side body. And then reach with both hands, but then draw the shoulders down, right? So we can reach really high and crunch up those shoulder muscles, but I want you to drop them down a little bit. I'm going to mirror here. So take your left hand down to the floor and stretch over. Soften the shoulder the hand that's on the floor. So your left shoulder, soften it down so it's not up at your ear. And notice, right, the arm and the ear on the top side are kind of next to each other if your shoulder allows. And then turn that top palm forward. Just turn it forward and flex the wrist. So I just want you to get a sense of this is what that arm and that hand would look like in downward facing dog, right? It's pointed up toward the ceiling, your ears next to your arm or next to your shoulder. You're flexing that hand back and then press all the way up, both arms up. Good. Let your right hand come down to the floor, soften the right shoulder, stretch that arm overhead, press down through that same side hip, right? That hip there. Push that down to the floor as you reach with the fingertips, and then turn the palm forward and flex the wrist and breathe and just kind of notice how that feels. Good. Release, press all the way up, take both arms up, flex both wrists so that both fingers or both sets of fingers are pointing back, and breathe. That would be a precursor to a handstand, right? As we stretch through those wrists. And then point the fingers up, curl your wrists, and point the fingers down to the floor, but keep the arms up if you can. If the shoulders are getting tired, just drop them down. Good. One more. Open the fingers, flex the wrists, breathe, and then point, curl, and really tuck, and then slowly lower those arms down to the floor. Whew, and shake them out. Good job, everybody. And then grab your strap and straighten your legs if they were crossed. I want you to take the strap or whatever it is you have, take your legs through it, and then that strap is going to be above your knees, but not too much. I'll turn sideways so you can kind of see. I realize the strap is pretty the same color as similar to my pants, so it might blend in too much. But it's right there. It's just above the knees. It's not on the knees. It's not down here. It's up here. And then tighten it so that your feet are roughly hips width apart or a little bit wider. What I want you to do is press against the strap. So, and the knees are bent and the heels are digging in. You can put your hands behind you and lean back, but just don't sag back. Like, don't drop the shoulders forward. Keep the chest open. And then push against the strap and feel that, right? It's where we're going to focus today is in these outer hip muscles. They're all around the hip joint, and they will help to strengthen those muscles. So feel that, and already just this little bit, you might be feeling, whoo, some work happening here, right? It's just amazing. And then walk the feet out a little bit more. The knees are still bent. I'm going to bring my strap in a little bit. The knees are still bent, but now I'm working just a little bit differently. And again, if I were turned sideways, would kind of look like that. So just push and push and push, and then just release. And then push against the strap and release. So a little bit of work, push, release, push. Yep, push against the strap and release. Now put your hands where you feel the work. It might not be the same place I'm feeling it. Whew. Keep push and release. Are you feeling this already? Woo, good. Two more. Just push against the strap and release it. And push against the strap and release. Good. Keep that strap where it is. Bring your feet to the front edge of your yoga mat and come on down to your backs. The knees are bent again. And I want you to just keep a little bit of space behind your lower back. Nothing artificial, but just so you're not sinking down and curling up your pelvis. Your heels are digging into the floor, and I want you to do the same thing. I want you to push against the strap and release. Might be a little more subtle here. Push and release. Good. Three more. Just push against the strap. Release. Two more. Squeeze and release. One more. Squeeze. Hold this one and just see what happens. Maybe you lift one foot, but not too much. And then lower. Lift the other foot and lower. Good. Lift one. Now we're feeling that hip work a little more. Lift and lift. It's almost like you're walking in place, kind of weird. And lift. Good. And then squeeze against the strap and lift both knees up. Your feet are flexed. Your knees are at about 90 degrees. So from your hip to your knee and then your knee to your foot. I want you to push against the strap, but don't let the feet splay out. Just push against the strap. And again, feel this outer hip work. Now the belly tones down. We're getting a little bit of core work. Take the hands behind your head. Just a soft interlace. I don't want you to pull up on your head. I want you to press down through your belly button and just sway the knees away from you and then closer to you. Press lower and higher. Yep. Couple more. 3 and 2. Keep pushing against the strap though. And 1. And then hold again. Lift your torso. Don't pull on your head, but just lift your torso. Your elbows are mostly to the side and breathe. 1, you're going to stay right here doing core work. 2, if your head and your neck are okay, you're going to release and do opposite hand to opposite knee. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep pushing against the strap. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Hands back behind your head. Squeeze it up and lower it down. Bring your knees to your chest. Almost done here. Want you to take that strap and bring it down closer to your ankles. Take those legs up to the ceiling. Flex your feet and push against the strap. And notice that, right? So say we're in a standing pose like mountain pose, and we want to activate these outer hips. How do we do that? How do we press those feet away from the mat, right? And away from each other isometrically, which means they're not moving, but we're working them. And we breathe. Good. Take one hand underneath each side of your sacrum or your butt and lower the legs a little bit. Squeeze the belly in. If this hurts your lower back, take the legs up higher. Flex your feet. You can take the hands out if you don't need them. You're not getting any pain in your low back. Take the arms up if you're not using them under, and then bring them back at a little bit of a diagonal. So we're working with the shoulders. Press the shoulders down. Press against your strap. Take your left leg up and your right leg low, keeping that pressure against the strap. Breathe, and then switch. Take your right leg high and your left leg low, almost like you were walking, right? So one leg in front of the other. Good. Couple more. Press and press. Whew. Breathe. Last 2. Press it up and press it up. Release the hands down. Hold the legs, and then try to push your left leg down while the right leg resists, and then take them back up. Switch. Push your right leg down as you resist with the left. Take them both up. Bend both knees and take the strap off. Woo! Good work, everybody. Bring both knees to chest. Stretch it out. Put your right foot on the floor. Take the left leg up to the ceiling. You can use your strap here if you want to loop around your foot, just stretching out that hamstring on the left side. The hamstring's at the back of the leg. And then point your toes and flex. Good. One more. Point and flex. And then straighten the right leg if you want. If your hamstrings on the left are too tight, keep the right leg bent. Big deep breath, just stretching out that back of the leg. You got it. And then bend your knee and take the knee out to the side. No pain. Bring it up. Grab the strap with your right hand. Take it across. Stretching out that hip we were just working. And bring it up. Keep the knee bent. Take it out to the side. And take it up. Bring it across. Ooh, nice stretch there. And release that strap. Straighten the leg. Both legs are straight. Oh, and feel, right? Maybe your left leg feels a little longer. Mine does than the right side. Bend both knees. Let's do the other leg. Grab your strap. Take it around your right foot. Take the right foot up to the ceiling. Nice stretch for the right side. We're usually tighter on one side than the other, but not always. Straighten the left leg if that makes sense for you. Just notice if that makes it much harder to have a relatively straight leg, then I would just keep the knee bent. We're all different, right? We all have different bodies. So we got to wake them up in our own way. Good. Point the foot and flex it. One more. Point and flex. And then bend the knee. Take that knee out to the side. Bring it up and across. Stretch the hip. You don't have to go far. Bring it up and across. Open. And up and across. Good. Bring it back to center. Straighten that leg. And release your strap. Straighten both legs down to the floor. Just feel that. And then bring the legs closer together, the feet closer together, like you would be standing on the ground. So they're not way out to the sides, but they're not touching either. They're hips width apart. Press into both heels and squeeze your butt. And lift your left leg off the floor just a little bit. So draw the belly in, the hips are level. I want you to feel the work, especially on the right side. So right glute, right hip, right leg, breathe and lower it down. Go to the other side, press down in your left heel, but lift the right leg just a few inches. If you lift really high, you kind of get out of the work that we're trying to find. So breathe and lower. Bend both knees, bring them both to your chest. Roll over to one side and come on up. Oh, good job, everybody. You can set your strap aside for now. If you're on your hands and your knees and it hurts your knees, you can grab a towel or a blanket or anything and put it underneath your knees, okay? Otherwise, you're going to spread your fingers. Turn the fingers out just a little bit. See how that feels for you so that those inner elbows, the inner part points more forward or in the direction of your thumbs. Tone the belly in. You're looking toward the front of your mat. I want you to press your right leg back. Now, once you've done that, notice that, there's not a whole lot going on there. This isn't hard at all. So let's engage some of those muscles. So draw the belly in, low belly, lift the leg, squeeze your behind, right? Squeeze those glute muscles, gluteal muscles. Your toes are pointing down. And breathe. And then notice, are both hips feeling pretty level here, right? One's not dropping down to the floor or lifting up. See if you can make them feel pretty level. Bend your knee. Maybe that heel comes to your glutes. And straighten. And bend, squeeze. Don't let the hips drop. Keep them level. Squeeze in, press out. 2 more. Squeeze in. And press out, and then bend the knee just to 90. We were just doing that right before. And then squeeze the hip up a little bit higher so you get some real engagement. Judy, you're really hiking up on that side. Yeah. Breathe, turn the knee out. Woo, hip work, everybody. And breathe. Yep. Turn it back so the knee points to the floor. One more. Turn it out to the side. And then turn it down and let it go. Woo, shake it out. And then go to the other side. So left leg presses out. We tone the belly in. I realize it's hard to see because my shirt's kind of baggy, but we squeeze the belly in, right? We lift the leg, we engage the muscle. So the gluteal muscles, the back of the thigh, the foot is flexed. The hips are feeling pretty level. You can even look down and see if they feel level to you. And then bend the knee and see if the heel will come toward your hip. And then straighten. Good. And bend, straighten, bend, squeeze, and straighten. 2 more. Squeeze, back of the leg, hamstrings. Last one, squeeze it and straighten it. Breathe. And then bend the knee and Turn the knee out to the side. Whoo, hip work. And then turn the knee so it's pointing to the floor. And turn it to the side so it's pointing toward the wall. And release it, let it come down. Good. Come on off those hands, everybody. Give them a good shake. Could be hard to be on those hands and wrists for a while, right? Flex, curl, shake them out. All right, almost done here. Back to your hands. If your wrists are screaming, by the way, just come on down to your elbows and take a little rest there. The other thing you can do is you can go to fists with your knuckles down on the floor and your wrists straight. You just have to have strong wrists to do that, so be mindful there. Press your right leg back, tone the belly in, level out your hips, lift the leg, breathe, take the left arm out. So this is balancing table. I've heard this called bird dog as well, so that might make sense for some of us. Breathe. That's it. All right, 5, just 5. Elbows to knees, squeeze them in. 1, and out. Go slow. And 2, and out. 3, balance work. 4, and 5. Reach it out, everybody. Let the hand come down. Let the knee come down. Shake out those hips. Shake out the wrists. And last side, here we go. Press the left leg back. Tone in the low belly, lift the hip or lift the leg, level the hips. Squeeze. Take the right arm out. Here we go. First balancing table. This is a really good core exercise. Works your whole back body. Here we go. Elbow to knee. 1. Don't forget to breathe. 2, 3, 2 more. 4, and 5. Squeeze it out first. Lower it down second. Shake it out. And then, right, so do a couple of cats and cows. Remember that? So rounding up to the ceiling, rounding your back up to the ceiling, tucking your chin, tucking your tailbone. There's your cat. And lifting up, dropping the belly toward the floor, lifting chest, head, and tailbone. Good. 1 more, both directions. And up. And then level out your spine again and take your right foot and step forward. Hallelujah. Grab your blocks if you have them. If you don't have them, don't worry. You don't really need them. We're only going to use them for a moment here. If you don't have blocks, you've got your fingertips to the floor. You're stretching out the opposite leg, right? That left leg, front of that leg is stretching. And here's what we're going to do a little bit different. Once we start to get that stretch of that back leg, I want you to take your hands to your knee, press your chest up, but move back a little bit and find that 90-90 again, right? That 90-degree angle with your front foot, which makes you a lot shorter in your pose. And then tuck your belly. Put one hand at the front of the belly, one hand at the back on your sacrum, and hold that position and breathe. From here, try to keep this relative neutral with your back. I'll switch hands so maybe you can see a little better. And try to keep that relative neutral, but then start to bend into the front knee again. And notice at what point you start to really overarch. Now you're pushing off this front foot, so push off and maybe go a little straighter. Bend the knee and come down. Good. Push off the front foot. Bend the knee. We got 1 more here. If this is hurting that back knee, then just stay more still, okay? And then bend, release the hands back to the floor. Lift your left knee off the floor. Fire up that leg. Breathe. Woo. Just fire it up. That's all I want you to do. We're not doing anything else. That back leg, the glute, the leg, the thigh pressing away from the floor, your chest nice and long. If your head's feeling heavy, try not to let it drop. Try to keep it up a little bit. And then lower that knee to the floor. Bring the right knee back. Bring the left leg forward. Now, if you're using your blocks, they're kind of nice just so that one, you're not leaning so heavy into the floor. You've got a little bit of space here for the upper body. That can be really nice. So we're starting with a stretch of that front right leg. The torso, the body is long. The head's not looking down at the foot. The heads are heavy, right? They're like little bowling balls. So we've got to work the neck to keep that head up. Good, breathe. And then take your hands to your knee. Back off your pose a little bit and find that 90-ish degrees. And breathe. So if you do a little tuck of your belly, you're going to get more stretch in this leg, which for me feels really good. Nice stretch of the front leg. Breathe. You got it. All right. So one hand front, one hand back. And feel that neutral. Neutral means you've got all the little curves, but you're not like dumping into your low back. And my granddaughters out there are super flexible, right? So it's just kind of fun to play with where you are. Where are you in space here? So just feel that. And when you're ready, I want you to bend into the front knee and then push off your front foot. Leg doesn't have to go super straight, but just a little push. Bend. It's not the torso, it's the leg. So don't lean the torso forward, lean the leg forward, if that makes sense. Good, 2 more. Just bend, keep the torso upright, straighten-ish, and bend. Release your hands. Take your hands to the blocks or to the floor, either way. And then press that. Oh, I forgot something. Keep your left leg forward. Lift your right knee. Almost forgot. And just fire up the leg. So when we're doing most of our standing poses, right? Warrior poses, triangle, all of that stuff. We want that leg to be strong. So that's what we're playing with here. Good. Step back with your left leg. Come to downward facing dog. Pedal out your feet. You're bending one knee and then the other. Just working it out, stretching it out. For some of you, it's still pretty early morning. So we're getting all warmed up. And then inhale to your tippy toes. Exhale, lower the knees, but don't let them touch. And then push the knees away from each other like you had that strap around them. They're not going out to the side, they're staying level, but push against. Good, press up to down dog. And when you exhale, lower the knees until they're just a couple inches off the floor. Tone the belly in, push against your imaginary strap. Breathe. Woo! I know. One more, everybody. Lift up to down dog. Strong shoulders here. Exhale, lower the knees just until they're close to the floor. Squeeze your belly in. Press against your imaginary strap. Woo! Breathe, breathe, breathe. And then down dog. Take your feet wide on your mat. Walk your hands back to your feet. Big soft knee, so a good bend in the knees. And then a forward fold. Hands come to knees, lift from your chest, take it all the way up. And roll your shoulders back. Woo! Good job, everybody. Grab your strap again, or your loop, or your belt, whatever it is you have. And you might have to be a little wider than you were earlier, and I'll explain that in a minute. And you're going to be real careful, but step through your strap. And that strap is above the knees. I mean, mine is probably a couple of inches above my knees. You don't want to be right in that knee joint anywhere. So above the knees, but not too high. And then you're going to separate the feet until you feel purchase. What that means is I feel my legs pushing against my strap. Okay. And then maybe move this, just kind of move that strap out of the way a little bit. Press against the strap and just turn the toes out. Turn them forward, turn them in, turn them forward, turn them out. Forward, in, forward, and then rock forward back on the heels and the toes a little bit. And then come back to your center, the center of your feet. Press against your strap. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale your hands to your heart, bend your knees. Now, here's where you're going to figure out how wide that strap needs to be. So when we bend, the legs need more space. What that did for me is I had to walk my feet in a little bit to make that feel good with my knees and my feet. Some of you might have to go wider, right? A little bit wider with the knees. That will make more sense for your hips. Some of you will have to go a little more narrow, but then feel that. So here we are kind of in a chair pose, right? Take one hand to your belly, one hand to your sacrum. Lengthen that up a little bit so the tailbone goes down, the belly comes in. Push against your strap. Your feet may be wider than your normal for your chair. Hands come to heart. Whoo! Right? What are you feeling? Where are you feeling it? So this strap is causing us to use the muscles right through here, right? That strengthen and stabilize the hips. Hence the theory there. Take the arms up if it makes sense. If you think I'm not feeling this, think again. I feel it, but it's okay. All right, everybody stand up. Keep pressure on your strap and relax. Whew, shake it out. So it's that kind of motion of pressing against enough that we engage certain muscles through here to work with those hip joints. Okay, so that's the idea. This is what happens when I do teacher training. My brain is like, brrr. Okay, here we go. So from this kind of wide mountain pose, inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Come into your squat, press against your knees. Just check it out. Do you feel too much pressure in your low back? If you do, lengthen it down a little bit, tone in a little bit more. The shoulders stay wide. Hands are to your heart. Take the arms up, optional. Press into your strap, everybody. Find your breath. And then stand up and release. All right. So phase one was that. Phase one was that. If you want to play, I'm just going to tighten my strap up a little bit. I'm feeling a little wide in the feet, but it's and wide is okay here. One, we're going to be there. Two, I'm just going to quick show you. We're going to be in chair again, but we're going to step back. Obviously, you're not going far, right? That strap will keep you from going far. I don't want you to go far. This is leg strength work. And then we're going to step forward, reassess, and step back. Okay, so that's where we're headed. Stand tall, push against the strap. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart. Roll your shoulders back. Tone in your belly just a little bit. Make sure your strap isn't going to make you trip. So it's better out in front of you than behind you. And then push those legs against your strap. Here we go. We're going to step back, right leg. And hold. Both knees are bent. No kidding, right? Think about what we did on the floor. I'm pushing one leg against the other. Not hard, but I'm pushing my back leg back more. Does it make sense? And my front leg forward more. So I got a lot of tension there. Breathe. Take the arms up. Whoo. Take the hands to your heart. Careful, step forward. Whoo. You can stand, get a moment break. Bend, push against the strap, step back, left leg. Both knees are bent. Go easy. If this is painful, Betty, I'd go wider with your strap. If you can. Breathe. Step forward, step back, other leg. Push against the strap, both out and forward back. Breathe. And forward. Good. Last one. Push. Breathe. And forward. Whoo, shimmy out of your strap. Set it aside. Woo, shake it out, everybody. Right? It's kind of amazing. That's pretty simple work, but it's quite powerful. All right, so what do we do with this, right? You don't really need your props right now. So if they're in your way, you can just put them out to the side. Stand in mountain pose, right? Mountain pose, your feet are hips width apart. Your shoulders are back, your chest is lifted, your tailbone is down so that you're not arching in your back. And just feel that. And breathe. And maybe you're toward the front of your mat. I realized I was back a little bit. And then press against the imaginary strap. Imagine it's there and press against it and feel how that changes your stance. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart, little baby chair, not super deep. Chest stays tall. You're going to take your right leg and step it back. Remember what we just did in the strap. Both knees are bent. Breathe. Belly is toned. You're not leaning forward. Torso is up. Step forward. Stand up. All right, here we go. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, chair pose. Don't go super deep. Press against that imaginary strap. Lift your left heel, step back with your left leg. It's a comfortable step. If you can be on the ball mound of your back leg, be on that. And then step forward, stand up. Whoo, shake out. Cool, right? Oh, you gotta use all these muscles to make this happen. So it's good work, everybody. All right, here we go. We're going to take it just one more step. From mountain pose, push against your imaginary strap. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands to heart, chair pose. Push against your imaginary strap. Yep. When you're ready, lift your right heel, step back with your right leg. Hold. Now, take one hand to your belly, one hand to your sacrum. Draw that up a little bit. And then see if you can maintain this while you press your heel back. If your heel does not come to the floor or you overarch in your lower back, I want you to keep the knee bent, or if you have any pain in your hip. So breathe. Hold that leg, press against the imaginary strap, lift the arms up. Warrior one pose, everybody. The hips are relatively forward. Your back leg is engaged. You're not overarching in your lower back. Find your pose. Hands come to heart. Bend your back knee. Step forward to chair. I know it's a lot of knee stuff. And then stand up. Whoo, shake, shake, shake. If you have knee stuff, and this is really cranking on your knees, just go a little bit more gentle, little smaller step, little smaller squat. Because part of this is a lot of balance work to step forward, back, okay? All right, let's do the other side. Press against the imaginary strap. And when you do that, you're not locking the back knees, okay? It's an outward press, not a backward press. All right, here we go. Just mountain pose, easy, easy. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, squat. Push against the imaginary strap. Left heel lifts. Left heel steps back. Comfortably steps back. You're on the ball mound to start. One hand front, one hand back. Just tone it in a little bit. Squeeze your little cute butt. Breathe. Take the arms up. If you can, play with the idea of straightening the back leg. When you straighten it and the heel drops, the heel will drop in a little. That's a normal warrior one. If you can't, if it won't, don't do it. Breathe. Good. When you're ready, lift the heel. Hands to heart, bend that back knee. Step forward to chair and stand up. Shake it out. Good job, everybody. Just shake it out. You can bend your knees. This is a lot of quad work, right? These thigh muscles, so they can get pretty darn tight. So you bend the knee, you stretch them. All right, here we go. Let's put that all together. There is an all together here. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, chair pose. Whew, breathe, roll your shoulders back, squeeze your belly, lift your right heel, step back with your right foot, breathe, lift your torso, press your heel back, don't force it. Reach the arms up. Warrior one pose, everybody. Breathe. As you exhale, hands come to the floor. Lift your back heel, find that high lunge. You might have to go longer. So I slid my back foot back some, it was too short. Step back, downward facing dog. And breathe. Inhale to your tippy toes, hover down to your knees. Squeeze your belly. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower your knees. Undo your toes. Press your right leg back. Point your toes down to the floor. Take the left arm out, balancing table. You got it. 5 elbow to knee. Woo. 1, maybe you count with me. And 2. And 3. Come on. 4. And 5. Reach it out, everybody. Hand comes down, knee comes down. Flip your toes. Lift your knees. Here we are. Woo! Downward facing dog. Find your pose. When you're ready, you're going to step forward with your right leg. Strong pose here, everybody. Step forward, left leg. Press against the imaginary strap. Lift up, stand up, mountain pose. Hands to your heart. And pause. Didn't know I could put all that together, did ya? I know, right? See if I can remember it all on both sides. All right, here we go. Left side. Inhale, take it up. Exhale, hands to heart. Squat down, chair pose. Press against the imaginary strap. It's gonna help most of us with our knees, right? Good. And feel, right? This turn on of the hips. That's what we're trying to do here. Peel your left heel. Step back with your left foot. Remember, tone in, lift the chest. When you're ready, arms up. Back knee is either bent or it's straighter with the heel dropping or close. It doesn't have to come all the way to the floor. Breathe. Warrior one. Strong pose, everybody. All right, here we go. Hands float to the floor, nice and slow. Straighten your back foot. Find that nice high lunge. Strong back leg. Step back, downward facing dog. Pedal it out. Engage the shoulders. Press through your hands. Inhale to your tippy toes. Exhale, lower the knees, but don't let the low belly sink. Keep that belly strong. 5, 4, 3. Press against your imaginary strap. Lower the knees to the floor. Unflip your toes. Press the left leg back. Your toes point down to the floor. Your right arm goes out. Big deep breath. You know what's coming. Let's do 5. 1, and 2, 3, yep, 4, last one, 5, press it out, hand down, knee down, reverse, knees off the floor, whoo, downward facing dog. Look through your hand, step forward, left leg. Nice high lunge, feel that. You might want to shorten a little bit to drop the back heel or not. Warrior 1, push up, take it up. Breathe. Can always play with that bent back knee. And then hands to heart. Step forward, chair. Woo! Stand up. And exhale, shake it out. Well done, everybody. Holy moly. Woo! Shake, shake, shake. And then go wide on your mat. So you can turn sideways if you want. And once again, bring your feet where they would normally go for you. Depending on how your hips are built, your toes might be more forward. They might be more out. They might, I don't know if they'll be in so much with wide legs, but from here, I just want you to squeeze your hips and your glutes. Just squeeze. And stand tall. Belly is toned in. Big deep breath. Good. And then squeeze the inner thighs toward each other. And breathe. And notice if you have to change your feet or not. It's okay. But the knees don't collapse in. The knees stay strong. Inhale, reach up. You're going to float down like you're doing a swan dive. Breathe. Take the hands to the floor. Excuse me. Or they can be to your blocks. If you have blocks here and you want those, that's awesome. Now push against your feet like you've got that strap there again. And you're doing a good push against that strap. Tone in through the belly. Your left hand, I'm mirroring here. Your left hand comes in front of your eyes. Your right arm goes up. And breathe. Little twist here. Don't strain. Don't strain the shoulder. You can come up on fingertips. See how that changes it. Exhale down to the floor. Switch hands and take the left arm up. And breathe. And release. Good. Both hands to the floor. Turn the knees out. Bend the knees. Hands come to knees. Come on up. Both arms up. Both legs straight. Exhale. Elbows bent. Knees bend. Inhale. Reach up. Exhale. Bend slow. Inhale up. And bend slow. Good. Next one we hold. Inhale. Exhale, hold. Take those hands down to your thighs. Maybe you shorten the width of that pose a little bit. Where's the knees, right? And if you personally in your body, if you drop in, press out, drop in, press out, how does it feel in your body, right? Can we work the outer hips by pressing against that imaginary strap and feeling this work instead of here? All right, so just breathe. All right, here we go, a little bit of breath work. Inhale, take the arms up, straighten the legs. Exhale, push that down to the floor. Inhale it up. Turn the palms forward, push it down. And up. Breathe, push it down. 2 more. Think about what's working. Last one. And push. Release. Toes in, heels in. Toes in, heels in, toes in. Mountain pose. Feel that nice strong pose. Push against the imaginary strap. Notice how it changes the energy of the legs. Hands are down at your sides. Good. Shake it out, everybody. Good job. All right, one little balance pose, and then we're going to make our way to the floor. So when we're in this warrior one stance, so let's all take left foot forward, right foot back, and then I can keep it straight. And then your front knee is bent a little bit. Your back leg is turned to the side. So a little bit to the side, right? So your toes are pointing out a little bit. For most of us, for some of us, the hip doesn't like that. So you'll be more ball mound. Take the arms up. There's warrior one. I like airplane pose a lot from this position. So I want you to take your hands to your heart. I want you to straighten your back foot and come more to the ball mound. So we're in this kind of pose again, right? The front knee is soft. As you tilt the body forward, you're going to come up on that back big toe. From there, maybe you rock back and you come up to the big toe. At some point, maybe you start to lift off and see if you can hold. Toes point down. Woo! Leg is energized. The hands either stay at the heart or they reach back. Balance work, right? Breathe, tone in through the belly. Don't fight it. I'm definitely doing some fighting here, so I'm going to tap back down. And then release it down. Inhale the arms up. There's your warrior one. Hands come to your heart. Bend your front knee. Step forward. Shake it out. I know. If you could see the joy in the room right now. Other side, and then we'll be done. Right foot forward. Done with this anyway, right? Right foot forward, left foot back. Back heel dropped or not. Can be a little bit lifted. Hands to heart. Hips are relatively forward, no force. Take the arms up. Breathe. Imagine reaching through that imaginary strap. Big deep breath. Hands come to your heart. You're going to lean forward. Come on to that tippy toe. So we're putting all this weight on the front leg. Where's it going to go, right? So maybe we just lift and we come back. And we lift and we come back. All this hip working. Maybe we lift and hold. Maybe the arms go back. Maybe they stay at the heart. Breathe. Can we level the hips? Can we breathe? Good. Bend the front knee. Step down. Lift the arms up. Take your hands to your heart. Straighten the back foot. Step forward. Shake it out. Good job, everybody. Inhale, reach up. Exhale all the way down. Oh, that feels really good. Bend the knees as much as you need to be in this really soft forward fold. The head pointing down toward the mat. You're just stretching out your back. Try not to straighten and lock out the knees here. Just let the knees be really soft so that the back body can stretch. Good. Bend the knees more. Step back, downward facing dog. Take the feet wide on your mat. Spread through the fingers. Open up your shoulders. Bend your knees. Don't touch the floor, but bend the knees. And then press those legs against that imaginary strap so the knees don't curl into the middle. And then notice, can you touch an ear to an arm? If you just bring your head to one side or the other, it's pretty much where your head should be. If you have a tendency to look up in down dog, you just strain the back of the neck. So just breathe right here. Push against your imaginary strap, everybody. Tone the belly in. Slowly straighten the legs to your level. The heels may or may not touch. Nothing else changed here, except that you straighten the knees more. Inhale, tippy toes. Exhale, hover knees just for a second. I know you're all done with that. Lower the knees. Whoo. Undo the toes. And then sit back in child's pose or hero pose. Child's pose is good here because it'll give a bit more stretch for those quadricep muscles. I've been liking lately of stacking putting my head on stacked fists so that my neck stays more neutral. You can try that if it makes sense for you. Maybe you rock the hips a little side to side. Just breathe. That's it. And then from child's pose, you're going to make your way onto your back. Have your strap nearby. And then come on down to your backs. Keep your knees bent and your feet on the floor. I just want you to just recenter, kind of recalibrate that back body. And so do a little cat-cow on the floor. So as you exhale, you're going to press your whole spine down to the floor. You're curling or tucking your pelvis. You're curling it up and just press it down. The rest of you is comfortable. And then release it. Don't go into a big back arch, but just release into a soft cow pose. And then press it the back to the floor. Good. Inhale, release, maybe just a little bit of an arch. And exhale, curl it in, press down. Good. One more. Just a baby arch here. And exhale, push that body into the floor. And then release to a neutral, to what feels neutral to you. Bend both knees, take it 90 degrees. Flex your feet. You can put hands underneath, your thumbs under your sacrum again if you want, just from a back support standpoint. Another nice way to do that is just to softly grasp the sides of your mat. That helps press the shoulders down. Good. Tone the belly in and then just tap one heel to the floor and then the other. Again, core work here, right? As we do yoga, we're doing this to get stronger, more mobile, flexibility as well, right? But strength, stability, good. As we alternate our heels, don't arch the back, keep the belly squeezed in. You're going to be feeling these pretty quickly. Breathe, don't lift the chin, don't arch the back, right? All those compensations. Good, keep going. Let's see if we can make it a little faster. Breathe, boom, boom. That's it. Come on, you got this. Little faster. Woo. And let go. Woo. Goodness gracious. Oh. Bring both knees to chest. Reach your hands through your knees and grab either your ankles or your feet, and then just let the knees go out to the side. So a variation of this supine butterfly or supine Baddha Konasana. Just see how that feels for you. Kind of wiggle the hips a little bit side to side. Shake it out. And then bring the knees back in. If you have your feet and you have the flexibility for this, you're going to take the soles of the feet up to the ceiling, the knees down to your sides. That's happy baby. But some other options here is to hold your ankles instead, right? My elbows are just sitting outside my knees. And then another option that I really like is you just wrap those elbows around the outside of the knees and you hold on to your fingers. That's another really nice option for happy baby. But wherever you are, let the upper body settle down to the floor. See if you can keep the teeniest, tiniest space in your lower back, or at least press the sacrum down a little bit so you're not just rounding fully in your back. And then take a deep breath. And let it out, everyone. Ooh, happy baby. You can sway side to side. You can find your breath here. And let this be a little bit, a little more fun. I always envision a real baby here. Happy baby. I envision a baby playing with their feet, playing with their toes, just being in awe of the world, right? So just let that little bit of joy come into your body. Breathe. And then take that whole body back to center. Let go of your feet. Bring your knees to your chest. You're going to keep your left knee in, straighten your right leg all the way down to the floor. And then imagine somebody's grabbed your foot and is lengthening that leg even more, pulling that leg down. Take your two hands behind your left knee and take the left leg up to the ceiling. Shoulders are down on the floor. Don't round them up. Point your foot, everybody. Just point. It's another thing we don't do a lot is point. We do a ton of flexing. We don't do a lot of pointing. Breathe. Flex your foot. Turn that toe out. Bend the knee. You're going to let your foot land above your other knee. Okay, so your right leg is straight. Your left foot just came to the top of your right knee, above that knee. Little bit of weird figure four here. That front thigh on the left side getting a little bit of stretch. And then very carefully, I want you to bend your right knee, walk the foot up. So now you're in more traditional figure four. Still okay here, still getting just an easy stretch on that left hip. Bring the knees closer to your chest, figure four. And breathe. This is one of those other places where we really honor and pay attention to how the stretch feels in the hip. If it feels like a lot, we just lower the leg a little bit, right? So we take some of the compression out of that hip and give it the chance to stretch. Good. Breathe, everybody. And then if you are here in figure four, I want you to lower that left foot to the floor. Let your right leg follow. Relax your right leg. Open up your arms. You're coming into a twist. And breathe. This should feel really good. You can rock the head to one side slowly and then the other side. And just breathe. Bring the head back to center if it's been moving. You're going to press into both feet, okay? So push into one foot, push into the other, lift the knees back up. Bring the right foot back to the floor, slide it back down to the floor. Release your left leg and straighten it down. Good. From here, you're going to bend your right knee, bring it to chest. Left leg is straight. Your hands are holding behind your right knee. Take the right leg, point it up to the ceiling. Point your toes. Just stretch out the front of that ankle. And breathe. Shoulders are soft. Flex the foot. Turn that foot out to the side. Bend the knee. And just drop that leg, that ankle down above your other knee. You don't want to hyperextend that knee, so be mindful there. Pause for a second and then start to bend the left knee. First, just put it on the floor and see how that feels in your body. Still good, still everything's good. Lift the left foot, bring the knees closer to your chest. I'm gonna run out of room here. And breathe. Nice little stretch here. This is one of my favorite hip stretches. Good. From here, you're going to lower that right foot over to the left. Let it come to the floor. Relax the left leg. Open up the arms. Little twist here. If this does not feel good, I should have said that on the other side, you can completely release and just go knee to knee. Soften your whole body to the floor. Maybe turn the head a little just to soften the neck, especially if you've just gotten up out of bed a little bit ago and your neck and shoulders can get stiff from sleep. And then bring the head to center. Remember, push off both feet. Lift the knees back to the center. Goodness gracious. Thank you. Let your left foot come to the floor. Straighten your left leg down. Release your right leg, straighten it down. Oh. And then take your feet nice and wide on your yoga mat. Nice and wide. Kind of rock those hips side to side. For just 1 second, I want you to tighten every single muscle that you can think of. So tighten your arms, your shoulders, your fingers, your hips, your belly, your face. And let go. Whew. Let's do that one more time. Squeeze everything in. Squeeze, 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 everybody. And let go. And then let's find Shavasana. Resting pose. The shoulders are wide. The shoulders are down toward the floor. Your palms are face up. Your legs are super relaxed here, nice and wide. And we find our breath. So here we let the entire class kind of seep into our bones, seep into our muscles. We come back to our breath. We let our minds quiet down. All we're thinking about is our breath, breathing in and breathing out. Maybe we feel the warmth of the sun on our faces, maybe the breeze, maybe the air conditioner, the heat. We just let it all be part of this experience of rest. Let your exhale be longer than your inhale. See if you can get even softer so that you don't even notice that you're laying on a hard floor. Let's see if you can relax everything, everything, everything. And then I want you to just let a little smile come onto your face, like a real smile, but it doesn't have to be big. And as you do that, feel how that makes your whole body happy. Maybe you feel that smile down to your toes, into your knees, your hips, your belly, your shoulders, your face. And then start to wiggle those toes. Start to roll through your wrists. And then ever so gently bend your knees. And draw your knees to your chest. Hold the knees in and just rock side to side. Coming back into your body, into your breath, into your day. Allow the knees to roll over to one side or the other and curl into Seedling Pose, also called Fetal Pose. Like you just woke up from a big nap and you're all curled up. And then as you're ready, press up into your seated pose. Bring your hands to your heart. And bow to your own inner wisdom, that inner kindness and love and compassion and sense of play. Namaste.
Namaste. Namaste.
Thank you, everybody.